Hey there folks, and welcome back to the IMCDB project. Today we're going to do a head shave, and we're going to use the Weber DLC. And of course, I'm your host CDB, or not, I want to forget that. Let me wet the dome and we'll just get right into it. Stay tuned. All right, and here we go. And by the way, today we're going to use the Maggard London Barbershop, which you see here. It is really excellent stuff. Same thing I used for my face shave in the video earlier today, and it is really beautiful stuff. I had a marvelous head shave with it, so I don't have any reason to believe that I won't have an outstanding head shave with it as well, because it is beautiful, beautiful stuff. And we'll start today, and maybe we'll go back to front and see how that treats us. Again, I usually use a DE on the weekends because, quite frankly, as I've been saying for months now, I don't get the same closeness of shave as I do with carts. And I mention this all the time. I know that's blasphemy in the wet shaving community, but that's just the way it is. I really have to work extremely hard to get even close to the same level as I get with carts. It's because the curvature and the pivot of the carts, in my view, whereas the these safety razors, or there's no yield in them, there's no bend, there's no anything, and the head is largely round, and that is flat. And so if you just look at the geometry of both, it sort of makes sense. However, some people get absolutely phenomenal results with safety razors on their head, and better than carts, and so I say good for them. But for me, with the my head and the way that I shave and so forth, it just so happens that carts work best for me. And there's really nothing wrong with either. Use whatever works best for you. I keep saying this in every head video because I don't want people to think that you have to start out with a DE on your head and then you cut yourself to pieces if you have bumps or something on your head, and then it becomes an experience that you don't enjoy, don't like, and then you just decide you don't want to do it. If you want to start with a cart, start with a cart. If you want to, whatever you want to start with, start with it. Start with whatever makes you comfortable, and continue to use whatever provides you with a comfortable shave. That is my advice. And as you can see here, I don't have any problems at all using a D. It just doesn't get as close, and so that's just me. All right, excellent first pass. Stay tuned. We'll come back for pass two. All right, here we go, pass two. So the main thing, in my view, and again, this is coming from someone who is new to the head shaving game. I've got, I don't know, 300 and some odd head shaves under my belt. I started in March of last year. I missed 2 days, so 300 and some odd head shaves. What I have learned is do whatever's comfortable, and you're likely to do it. I started out, I think the first shave I ever did was with a one blade, which I really liked for my face at the time, but it was terrible for the head. It just did not do a good job at all. You could wear out one of those blades that come with it in a single shave. I mean, not even finish a head shave with it. So those blades, those feather blades that come with the one blade, I'm telling you, they wouldn't even last a shave on my head. They would dull and start pulling, and that razor just wouldn't get close. So then I tried some other safety razors, and I was just still feeling stubble here and there. And then I tried a cart, which was, I think, David Munoz and the inspector, David Fernicola, had sent me some Gillette ProGuard, which is single blade cart, and I got a much better result. And then I said, I'm doing a lot better with these. And so So then I started exploring carts, and I said, well, you know, clearly they're just doing a better job for me. And I got into the, you know, I just, on a whim, I tried the Gillette Fusion, which again is blasphemy in this community, but I wanted to try it and see how it did. And it did great. But the problem is it's very, very expensive. So I tried the Harry's razor, which is considerably cheaper, and it did great. And then I tried the Schick Extreme 3, and it did great. And so I've tried a number of different carts, all of which perform well and most times better than a DE. Again, just me. So the bottom line is, and a little bit of history, if you know me, you know I was originally traditional shaving evangelist because I wanted to evangelize for this because this style of shaving really meant a lot to me because I had a horrible time with carts on my face, and then I went to electric razor bronze series 6, 7, and then when I found wet shaving, it was fantastic, and so I began evangelizing for this hobby. And well, I'll get back to this when we do a cleanup pass. Stay tuned. So anyway, I was very aggressive about advocating for this hobby, and I said to shavers the same thing that every other shaver in the community says: carts are crap. They're crap. They don't do any good. This and that and the other thing. And I meant it when I said it because that was based on the knowledge that I had at the time. But what I had never tried was to use a cart with a good soap and a brush and good technique, multipass technique, progressive, beard reduction it's called, or hair reduction, whatever you want to call it. Once I did that, it turned out that carts actually weren't as bad as I originally thought. And so that's why you see me using them now, because they're poo-pooed, and I think for good reason, for perhaps environmental reasons or for reasons of expense, like the Gillettes are just outrageous. But there are, you know, blades or razors like Dollar Shave Club and Harry's and so forth, and the disposables, which, you know, are a little more affordable, which do a really good job. Anyway, folks, the moral of that long-winded story is keep your mind open and try things and see what works best for you. I am more interested in this stage of the game in telling you how things work for me, whether they be traditional or not, than just sticking to tradition. I love the traditional aspect of brush and old-fashioned soap and all that. I love that, and it has done really well for me. But at the same time, I don't want to be misleading folks out of ignorance, and that's really what it was. When I joined into those conversations, oh crap, carts are crap. Like you'd see a guy who was a traditional shaver on vacation, and he'd take a cart, and we go, oh, that's a bunch of crap. Turns out, not the case, at least for me. In my experience, I learned that, you know what? They can do just fine under the right circumstance. If you use a good soap, good technique, and most importantly, you don't stretch the blade too long, which I think all of us did when we used carts. And so I'm here just to give you the truth as I know it, and we'll leave it at that. Okay, that was an excellent 3 passes. Stay tuned. We'll come back for the post. All right, and as you know, normally I would put on the Thayers, and today the post will be RazoRock Dawn Donato, but I'm not because I'm going to take a shower. And in the shaving video today, I explained why I used to shower before I shave, but now as a head shaver, I shower after my shave. And it's simply because to get all the lather, you know, out of the ears, out behind the ears, back of the head. On the face, it's quite easy to rinse your face and get all the lather off and slap your aftershave and so on and go to work. On the head, it's a little more challenging, so I like to make sure all that lather is off. So I shower after I shave now to make sure I get all the lather off, Then I'll slap on my Thayers and my Don Donato when I get out, and we will enjoy. So the head shave today was using the Weber. It was outstanding, but again, I did have to follow it up with the Harry's, which I did off camera. There's just a few spots it's nearly impossible to get with the safety razor, and so therefore carts just typically work best for me. We used the RazoRock 400, which is outstanding, the Timeless lathering bowl, which is superb, and last but not least, the Maggard London Barbershop. Excellent soap. Check it out if you haven't tried it. Thanks as always for joining us. Until next time, I've been your host, CDB. You're not. God bless.